Man, this is like some fire and brimstone shit. What's going on, y'all? Nick here, coming to you with another video. Check this out, y'all. This world is literally going to hell. Like literal hellfire. I can't make this shit up. Before I dive right into it, I would really love to hear from you guys. Please put down your comments down below for your thoughts. Alright, you guys. Please like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. But let's just dive right into it. Alright, you guys. So apparently we have New York. The air quality of New York is literally suffering as smoke starts to come in from East Canada. Check this out, y'all.
Breaking news today. Kids at New York City public schools will be staying inside. That means no outdoor trips, no recess. And it is all because of this, a thick cloud of smoke that has blanketed the region, a result of the wildfires in eastern Canada. City officials think New York's air quality yesterday may have been the worst it has ever been.
Man, I want you guys to look at this, you guys. Look, I remember back in the day playing video games. There was a video game called Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1. Check out the starking similarities. Look at that. Look at the starking similarities, guys. Do you see that? Do you see how the whole place is just full of smoke? All right. Now, why am I even bringing this up, right? Because this is what you got to understand. You see, there's a thing called predictive media. Hollywood been doing this for years. You know, it's all over in the movies, in the TV show. It's all over the place. They have it in video games. I mean, literally, New York is literally in smokes. And the PlayStation 1, I think that could have been well over maybe 20 years ago at this point. And look what's happening, you guys. Look what is literally happening.
Now, it was a little better this morning, but it's only expected to get worse. Antoine Lewis is live in Brooklyn Heights, where the mayor just held a briefing. Antoine, what did we learn?
Well, the mayor and city and state officials are saying that if you don't have to be outside, stay in. Do not go out. Let's give you a look at what we're seeing down here in Brooklyn Heights. Photojournalist Scotty Pierce is going to show you the skyline from where we are. Those are not clouds that you're looking at, but smoke containing particulates and other matter that can make breathing outside a challenge for many. Now, city officials say the air quality in all 5 boroughs has reached alarming levels, prompting a health advisory for New York City. This, again, as you pointed out, Chris, because of dangerous high levels of smoke coming from Canadian wildfires thousands of miles away. Officials say now, listen to this, the scale used to measure air quality in New York begins around 100. That's pretty normal, containing pollen and things like that. The index last night was 217 and stands the highest in the Bronx at 174 as of this morning. Officials say this is quite unprecedented.
What's not normal is to go above 150. So when that happened, that is something that, I mean, has rarely occurred. I think you have to go pretty far back to find a time when we were ever above 200. It may never have actually happened in New York City. We're sort of looking at historical data to see what the precedent is for this.
At the moment, we recommend vulnerable New Yorkers stay inside. And all New Yorkers should limit outdoor activity to the greatest extent possible.
You know, a wise man told me years ago, get the hell out of New York. Literally that exact way. Get the hell out of New York. And I'm so glad looking at it in hindsight that I took heed to that wise man. I got the hell out of there. Because here's the thing, you guys. It seems like New York can't get a break. From the pandemic where everything was shut down. I remember calling some of my relatives that remained in New York, which I hope y'all get out too. But I remember some of them that in New York saying that it's like a ghost town. That's how much it was empty in the streets. And if anybody grew up in New York like I did, you'll know that New York, California, those are some of the most busiest, if not the most busiest, states in the United States. So it's crazy to look like a ghost town. And now, after the pandemic, now they got this. It's like New York can't get a break. And I don't understand why anybody want to stay in those large population centers any damn way. Because guess what, guys? large cities like Cali, New York, they're gonna be some of the most. They're gonna be one of the first places that they're gonna completely shut down if shit hits the fan. Some of you may not want to hear this, but this is the reason why you guys really gotta get the hell out of there, because you guys literally have no place to go. They will shut you guys down, and you think it's a joke now. But you better take heed. You better get out of those places. And now you're telling me that there's a smoke from Eastern Canada that now they're telling people to wear the mask again, and they telling people to stay indoors again. Woo! All right, man.
As you come back to us live, of course, when he's talking about vulnerable, the elderly, young people, people with underlying health conditions, particularly those who have respiratory conditions that you need to be aware of, those are the ones most at risk. Officials are also saying if you have to be outside, remember those COVID K95, those N95 masks, put one on if you have to be out.
What did I say?
Complete report coming up this evening beginning at 5 o'clock. This is the very latest from Brooklyn. Back inside to you.
That's great advice. You're going to need it out there today. Antoine, thank you very much. Let's take another live look out there at the conditions right now. This is a view from Liberty State Park in Jersey City, New Jersey. Looking at the city, even though you could barely tell from that shot. Audrey Puente, I want to bring you into the mix here. Are things expected to get better or worse as the day goes on?
I actually anticipate them to get worse, Chris, and this is actually an indication right here. This is the shot you just showed earlier, and I just looked at this about 30 minutes ago, and we could actually make out One World Trade Center, and that was just 30 minutes ago. So the clouds have...
Man, look how thick that smoke is. I could barely see anything. Wow.
Definitely, or rather the smoke has thickened up as we moved further along into the hour. Now let's talk a little bit about the air quality index. As we heard from the press conference that Antoine was at earlier, normally we don't get really above 100, and when we do, that's when an air quality alert is issued. Right now we're sitting at 159, so that does put us in an unhealthy category.
I mean, what the hell are you guys doing there in New York? Like, why do you want to continually breathe in all that smog, all that dirt, all that sickness and disease? Get the hell out of there.
Yesterday afternoon, we had all that smoke coming in. We were above 200, and it looks like we might get there later this afternoon, too. Now, when we look at air quality index, these are the particulate matters that the National Weather Service or the CDC will actually take a look at. These are the major pollutants. Right now, we're dealing with particle pollutants. We have very tiny particles with the wildfires, smoke coming from Canada, and those are very dangerous because they can get very much into your lung system and disrupt things, especially if you do have respiratory issues. Now, why are we getting all of this smoke? Well, we're under what's called an omega block. That's our weather pattern that we're seeing across the region. Here we have the jet stream, and you can see it's sort of made out in the Greek letter shape omega. We have an area of low pressure here, and the smoke is being funneled right out of Quebec right into the tri-state area. In fact, most of the Northeast. That's been happening since yesterday, and we're still going to be in this weather pattern as we go through tomorrow and even into Friday. So it's still going to be unsettled. In fact, they extended the air quality alert into tomorrow from the one they issued from earlier this morning. So here's a look at the forecast of the smoke plume. Here is where we can see it's most dense, and it's right now across western New York. But you can see with the northerly wind flow that we're expecting today, it's actually expected to work its way into the tri-state area by around 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. So much like yesterday, we're going to see the smoke thicken up around dinner time, and that's when you really need to be indoors, because that's when it will be most dangerous as we go through the afternoon. We'll talk more about this coming up.
Man, this is so crazy. You know, I wasn't even going to say anything, but something just told me, let me just say it anyway. I mean, you know, in the Bible, it mentions how the Most High God, he is Alpha and Omega. And I just find it crazy that of all things, they said it's in the Omega shape, the smoke. Man, I won't go as far as to say this is a judgment from God himself. I'm not going to go that far, but who knows? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is like literal fire and brimstone, Sodom and Gomorrah. Who knows? Maybe for all that lewd behavior, maybe the Most High is trying to burn that city down. Maybe the Most High is trying to get rid of that city. Oh, I mean, all the pride, all the debauchery, all the lewdness, all the sin that's so rampant in these major cities. Maybe the Most High is trying to get rid of it. Who knows? But I want to end off with this one last video, you guys, because I'm telling you, I can't make this shit up. I really cannot. I cannot, you guys. Check this one out. Man, look at that. Look at that, you guys. Like, that helicopter was literally raining down fire. And the name of this video is called Raging Wildfires Burn Across Canada, Sending Smoke Down to the U.S. Now, this is my question, right? Why would, because again, it's one thing if it's a naturally occurring fire, right? It's one thing if, maybe lightning struck a tree and then, there was nobody to, I guess, get rid of the wildfire or nobody to calm it down, so it started to spread. That's one thing. But did you see that helicopter? It literally was raining down fire. So, like, is this man-made? I'm gonna go back, you guys. Check this out. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's literally raining down fire. So here's the thing, right? Again, I did some research because, again, I don't want to be ignorant, even though, admittedly, I don't know all there is to the story. But apparently, some people are saying that these helicopters are trying to keep the fire contained by spreading fire as a barrier. Now, again, I don't know the science behind it. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a professional on this subject. But it just sounds very fishy to me because all my life I've always heard you can't fight fire with fire. I've always heard that. So how in the world does raining down fire help subside, fire that's already ensuing? I don't get it personally, but it's crazy, guys. And I just want to go back to one of the comments because I'm telling you guys, I can't make this up. This one person says, I live 1 hour north of Bronx, and today it's even worse than yesterday. I just stepped outside for a minute, and I could smell the smoke. It's like you can cut the air with a knife. Wow. Visually, everything outside has a yellowish tint to it. Wild stuff. You see, so this stuff is real, guys. People are not just making this up. People are not even making this up. Here's another comment. I'm in Jersey, and I was wondering, why does the sky look like that? And air has a weird smell like a campfire or someone burning wood. Now I understand. That's insane that something can spread so far. Do you guys hear this? This is all the way in New Jersey. So it's not only affecting New York. It's affecting, it seems like, part of the tri-state area. Wow. Look, you guys, I'm going to end off with this. We living in some very serious times. And again, all I can do is relay the message that was sent to me. Get out of those major cities. Get the hell out of there. Save yourself. Because there ain't nothing in those cities other than frivolity, lewdness, debauchery, and a whole bunch of sin. And a lot of times you guys want to stay in those cities for comfort and convenience. You don't wish to inconvenience yourself by actually learning the skills that you need to, like actually farming, actually building your own house. You guys don't want to get your hands dirty. You don't actually want to put in the work. You guys don't want to do any of that, so you just want to stay in those cities. But, man, I'm telling you, you guys got to get out of there. I mean, literally, this is like some biblical level judgment being cast upon New York. And it's been going on for years. And California, they have been burned down too. I mean, those major cities, they seem like they just can't get a break. You guys better listen. You better listen. Get the hell out of there. Hey, I'm already out, so you're not doing me the favor. You're doing yourself and your family of the favor. Anyway, guys, with that being said, Nick over and out. Man, Jesus is king.
Game to win. Game hard.